hope you're having an amazing day. So in today's video, I wanted to give you two scenarios of different shops and different growth curve, different revenue trajectory, and it let you know exactly what is the single factor that is determining the success rate and also the possibility and the pace, the speed of you seeing success on TikTok Shop. So a quick introduction here. My name is Jackie. I run a TikTok Shop focused agency where we oversee 7 to 8 figure brands and sellers currently on TikTok Shop. In total, we have generated over $500 to $1 million in GMV so far. So without further ado, and I think today's video is going to be super helpful, so let's get straight into it. So essentially, what I want to call this the slow and fast of TikTok Shop, and what determines what is impacting this growth curve the most in today's TikTok Shop landscape. So I'm recording this right now in late July, early August of 2024. And maybe in a year or two, this strategy is going to change. But I think for right now, this is definitely the way to go. And if you are a seller who has some budget, definitely pay attention to what I'm going to show you. And after I kind of give you a breakdown of what exactly this means, I'm also going to show you 2 shops that we're currently managing and give you a striking kind of visual comparison between the revenue trend and over the same time horizon, and tell you why exactly one of the shops is able to see success literally right away. The past few months, the go-to strategy on TikTok Shop is drive affiliates to create content for you and go heavy on the affiliate marketing. And I will say probably last October, December, and November of 2023, this is the go-to strategy, and you can instantly see success with the right product. And a lot of sellers did see a ton of great and outsized success by just sending and shipping some free samples to affiliates. At that time, I think the platform has more demand over supply. That is why for affiliates, at that time, it was also easier for them to go viral, to get a ton of organic traffic and views, which in turn also yield a lot more organic sales through affiliates just by them posting content. And at that time, in terms of free sample volume, you can just send 100 or 150 samples per month, and you will be able to probably have a 5% hit rate, which means you'll have 5 to 10 videos that are able to do over 50K in views, and that could result in a ton of sales orders, depending on the AOV, the product that you're running. So that was the strategy for almost, I think, up till February, March of this year. Then things have changed. For us, we were implementing the same exact strategy, which is volume approach to TikTok platform, and we were seeing success. Then until February and March of this year, we started to notice the growth has gone down, and it started to take us a lot longer to see that initial breakout success just through organic views from affiliates. And that was the point where we decided, okay, things are changing because there are actually now a lot more supply, and probably supply is started to exceed demand on the platform. We also heard pretty similar things from affiliates, which is a lot of their content started to get stuck at 100 views, 300 views at most, and they're able to do 1 or 2 affiliate sales here and there, but nothing is able to compare what they were used to be doing, which is like 4 or 5 months ago now. So at that time, we started to transition our strategy from just doing purely organic volume approach to do more quality approach, where we will partner and actually put a few creators on retainer, where they create high quality and highly planned, and where we ask them to create high quality and highly repurposable content, which we will actually put in ads. Then the strategy becomes quality over quantity. And the key factor here is we were going to partner with 4 to 5 high quality affiliates and they're going to help us create high volume content specifically to their account, where we will also instruct them and direct them what type of content that we think will work the best. And we will just let them create content depending on the briefs, the content guidelines that we share with them. So at that time, things started to do a little bit better, not a ton, but we are able to probably have a higher hit rate just because we're able to have a better control over the quality and the content that being put out on the platform. So at that time, we started to ask creators, we started to ask sellers to invest more money into the content creation piece, because in the past, the only cost was costs and shipping. We're letting the affiliates, the creators, to decide whatever they want to create. But because supply has gone up so much, you do now want to train and educate your affiliates a little bit better on the content, on what actually works and what type of strategies that need to go into that content. Then what really propelled us to become super successful almost immediately on TikTok Shop has come around once we introduced shopping ads in around May timeline. So essentially, what I think and what we have noticed up to this point today, the biggest factor that's going to determine the success and the speed of you seeing success on TikTok Shop is just ads. And that is just plain and simple, how fast and how much budget you can run in ads kind of positively correlated with the results and performance you will see. This is, nothing new. If you're a D2C e-com owner, brand owner, you already understand that, paid media is essentially 80%, 90% of what drives performance. And TikTok Shop has just proven that is just a no longer. And the same philosophy, same fundamental principle applies to TikTok Shop now as well. And this is, always how a platform evolves, matures. In the beginning, when there's not a ton of supply, you're able to get that very, underpriced attention, underpriced reach, where you don't even need to spend money on ads. But now, after a year of growth, after a year of sellers coming on board to the ecosystem, there's now a lot more supply than it used to be. So in order to kind of pierce through that noise and actually go exponential, you do need to kind of start to invest a lot more into the platform to compete against your competitors or just basically other sellers in the ecosystem. So again, to iterate, what has really changed for us, and the key ingredient, the factor here that allowed us to go from, take us 3-4 months to see success, we're not able to do it probably within 2 weeks or just 1 to 2 months, depending on your budget, is just to run ads. And I think at this point, I wanted to pull this diagram again. And if you have watched one of my previous videos, I have done a walkthrough of exactly what this means. But I wanted to touch on this again because this is essentially what TikTok Shop is, and these are the legs that really make a shop successful. So obviously revenue is on the top, but the thing that support revenues are ads and content. So when we, 5-6 months ago, when we were only doing the affiliate marketing, the affiliate outreach and content, we weren't doing the ads part. So this was cut off and it was an incomplete triangle because we were only doing the content without the ads. So obviously the growth was slower. It was a very time consuming, it was a very long stretch process where we're waiting for that organic video to go viral. But if we take a look at this triangle, it's pretty telling for us to know that essentially just doing affiliate will not be the entire strategy. You definitely need to introduce ads at some point. Then after we evolved and changed our strategy to now introduce ads much earlier on, almost immediately start running ads, this triangle is now complete and we are able to see much better and much more success on TikTok. So it really just all comes down to these 3 components: ads, content, and revenue. And I do wanted to touch on content again here, which is maybe right now all we're talking about is affiliate content, reaching out to affiliates, having a third-party content creators to give you content. But for shops that are doing really, really well, that are on the top ranking charts, they are also doing their own content. Brand content is another thing that sellers tend to ignore, that they heavily rely on third-party external partners to create content for them. But that is a mistake, especially for brands that have the budget, that have the internal capability and resource. You do want to do content on your own as well, because the more content there is on the platform, the better, the more reach that you will get essentially. So fundamentally, that is what has changed for us. If you are just a seller who has just starting out and don't have a ton of budget, I think, especially depending on the product, you can still see success with this more affiliate-driven, no ads support approach. But if you're a seller, a brand operator that has budget and is willing to spend and invest a bit more on the platform, I highly recommend you to start running ads almost immediately, because you will just be able to see much quicker success here. So that's it for today's video. Just wanted to jump in here and give you a quick update on, what we have seen is see things change and where you should start to move toward, which is just paid media, more paid content. So that's basically it for today's video. Just wanted to jump on here to kind of share with you how our strategy has changed over time, and what we identify is the key factor here that determines the growth and revenue trajectory for a shop.